Hello everyone and welcome to Battle of the Beasts Insects / Arachnids Only Edition, episode number 4. So, we're now at the 4th battle of round 1. We're now at the halfway point. And quite frankly, this tournament starting out quite good. We've got 3 good beasts making it through to the next round. And quite frankly, I don't really know who could win at this point. But yeah, I do. Yeah, it's a good lineup so far for round 2. I am aware of 4 beasts that made it through already because 1 beast skipped round 1 because we have 15 at the start. But I'm not going to say which one it is. That's going to have to wait until battle number 7, where we'll find out the 8th beast to make it through to the next round. But at the moment, we got an interesting battle between 2 current bug/arachnid beasts, which I've spoken about very little on this channel. But yeah, let's introduce them. Representing Series 2, we have Arachnid, the King of Spiders. And representing Series 21, we have Lypida, the Shadow Fiend. So, an interesting matchup. Quite good in my opinion, if you ask me. But I want to know more about these beasts. So, let's get to the stats. Arachnid, the King of Spiders. Arachnid lurks in caves near the village of Spindrel in southern Avantia. He is a giant spider capable of catching grown men in his webs and consuming them. Age 285, power 156, magic level 142, fright factor 78, size 255. Powers and abilities: web manipulation, wall scaling, enhanced strength, enhanced durability, a thick hide, and a venomous bite. Weaknesses are blinding and pierceable hide. Arachnid's hide can be pierced by something sharp enough like a falling stalactite. Okay. Moving on to his opponent. Lypida, the Shadow Fiend. Lypida is a giant moth with mottled browning wings that are tipped with savage-looking metallic hooks. A whip-like barbed tentacle can lash from Lypida's body as an additional weapon. Age 417, power 207, magic level 148, fright factor 88, and size 249. Powers and abilities: multiple wings and flight. Lypida has 4 wings which grant her flight and can fly without a sound. Air manipulation. Lypida can create gale force wind for her wings. Natural weaponry, darkness camouflage, enhanced strength. Yeah, that's it. That's it. And enhanced strength. Weaknesses is photophilia, which, if you don't know, is an attraction to light, which can be used against her, like setting up a trap which involves light. Let's get back to me, shall we? Okay, so now we're back to me with Arachnid vs Lypida. We now know a fair amount about these beasts, but now we're going to get to the fights. The part that we're all here for. So I think what we're going to do is that we're going to do a rocky terrain arena with high rock, so more like a mountainous arena, with the darkness, yeah. No, not feeling it. Forest arena at night, maybe? No. I'm tempted to go with the cave arena again. So yeah, let's go with the cave arena that I had back in the first tournament, the first battle. So, for those who haven't seen the first battle, with Amictus versus Kamar, I had a cave arena, which was entirely new for this tournament, which was luscious on the inside with some trees, some grass, and a river flowing through it, as well as the cave walls having nooks and crannies for beasts to hide in. The whole ceiling is made of is a cave as well, and also there is some light there. So there is some light there, but so it's not too bad of a... Actually, no. I'm going to go... Yeah, we'll stick to the light. It's just small little torches scattered around the arena. So that, Arachnid vs Lypida. Let's get into this. Maybe not. Hold on. Okay, let's try that again. Arachnid and Lypida. Let's get into this. Sorry about that, by the way. So as the chamber doors open, Arachnid immediately scuttles out to the chamber, coming out from the ceiling, making its way up to the chamber, where he immediately starts shooting a web to the other side of the arena and creating a giant web in the middle of it. During that time, no, Lypida immediately bursts out of the arena and is immediately attracted to some light near the bottom of the cave wall, in which she goes for it and then slashes, then whips around towards it. She notices another light. The wind gushing immediately puts out that flame, and the wind gushes around the entire arena, in covering up the entire flame. So they're both in the cover of darkness. Lypida then immediately bursts up towards the sky, in which she looks around to try and see Arachnid. She can't see Arachnid very well, but she sees a bit of movement towards the ground, but not really at the ground. She realizes there must be a web, but she doesn't. She's not going to go straight for it, and instead starts flapping her wings to create a gale force wind wrapping around the entire arena, taking up any trees, grass, the river as well, just spinning it all around. Arachnid gets caught up in it along with his web as the web comes past of it as well. Lypida sees this, and Arachnid gets thrown out of the wind, chucked straight towards the wall. Doesn't get too injured though from it though, as Lypida charges down towards Arachnid and swoops up right before impacting Arachnid, with one of her wings hooking onto one of Arachnid's legs, as Arachnid gets taken up for a ride as his entire body gets dragged along the roof of the cave, and then slammed down into the floor. As he gets slammed down into the floor, he lands right next to an upright tree branch, which would have impaled him. Arachnid gets up a bit winded from his ride up into the sky, and then scuttles up for the wall again, shooting up some web towards Lypida to slow her down, but the web misses as Lypida charges back towards Arachnid again, hooking him again, but this time impaling a hook right into one of Arachnid's eyes, as Arachnid drags through the cave floor, through the river, into another tree, right through the tree, up into the rock, and slammed back down into the ground again. The entire time Arachnid was screeching from the pain in his eye, as he's now blinded in one of his eyes. Lypida charges towards Arachnid again, but Arachnid turns around and hisses at Lypida, in which Lypida reels back and lashes out her tail whip towards Arachnid, which wraps around Arachnid's body, binding his legs together. And Lypida comes close and, using her 6 scythe-like appendages, stabs them right into Arachnid's side. Arachnid roars in pain, but goes to bite down at Lypida, but Lypida reels back and holds up her tail the end of her tail at Arachnid's throat, and says, "Try something like that again, and I will not hesitate to give you the most violent death I've ever given a beast." Arachnid, trying not to show any intimidation, lowers his appendages to try and lower any possible tension there from the threat which Lypida just gave him. Lypida immediately then responds back saying, "That's a good beast, but you know one of us is going to have to die, and it's not going to be me." In that instant, Arachnid goes to bite down at Lypida, in which Lypida immediately reels back, uses her tail, and stabs it right into Arachnid's head, as Lypida takes up to the sky again, releasing her grip off of Arachnid with the scythe-like appendages, but still with the blade of her tail wrapped around him and in his head. Arachnid takes up to the sky, slams Arachnid into the roof of the arena, which there's a stalactite there, which he missed the first time and the second time, stabs it into there, which Arachnid screeches in pain. Lypida then pushes Arachnid towards the other side of the arena, snapping the stalactite off the roof, in which Lypida then folds herself around and chucks Arachnid down towards the ground, landed directly into the river, creating a loud splash. As Arachnid lands into the river, gasping for breath, as he sees Lypida just charge down directly towards Arachnid, in which Lypida then pins Arachnid down, using each of her scythe-like appendages, keeping each of his legs at bay, and then using her tail to slash the other 2 off. She gets down to his head and says, "I warned you to not try that again." Lypida then lifts up her tail and stabs it right into Arachnid's head again and brings it down right through his entire head, slicing it almost in half. Arachnid immediately stops moving and his limbs go limp, and Lypida then, still keeping a hold of Arachnid, hoists him up and chucks him right into the side of the arena, which actually lands on an impaled on a tree branch, which is snapped, impaling him again. Lypida goes up towards him and turns round right before impact and using her wings to slice right through Arachnid's body as blood continues to gush out. The spectators are watching this knowing full well Arachnid is long dead now, but Lypida is going merciless on this beast, in which Lypida uses her tail again, wraps it around Arachnid's abdomen, and pulls as hard as she can, whilst Arachnid's pretty much stuck to the wall until Arachnid's abdomen gets separated from the top part of his body, causing a blood-like waterfall to come gushing out. The legs of Arachnid are just drooping down as Arachnid's still pinned to the wall, the body is anyway. And as for Lypida's Arachnid's abdomen, Lypida still has a firm grip on it, in which she then slams it into the other side of the arena, getting impaled on another branch. Lypida looking around at the chaos that's been made, with Arachnid's body impaled on one side of the cave, his abdomen impaled on another side of the cave, and blood scattered everywhere, with his head split in half in the river. Lypida is finally satisfied with this victory. She then swoops back into her chamber, almost like nothing happened, ready for round 2. So that Lypida's won, Arachnid's lost. If you think Arachnid should won, please comment below. Think that. How are my words thrown on Lypida's moving on to the next round? Now, I'm aware this was probably a bit one-sided, and that was because whilst I could see Arachnid probably doing something with the web anyway, unfortunately, Lypida's that fast where she makes Amictus look slow. So, because of Lypida's insane speed, that was already an advantage which she had. And then you got the flight as well as her weapons, one of which is a very long distance weapon, like her tail. I don't think Arachnid actually stood a chance at all. So with that, unfortunately, Lypida's won. And yeah, that was a very one-sided battle, if you ask me. And a bit brutal. But then again, Lypida did warn Arachnid to not attack her again, and Arachnid did try to, in which Lypida taught him a lesson. But yeah, I would say this was a very one-sided battle. But ultimately, though, I couldn't really see a way in which Arachnid could win. So with that, that's it all for this time. If you like what you saw, leave a like, leave a comment, don't forget to subscribe, press the notification, press that little notification bell down in the corner below. And with that, I'll see you next time.